Hello, good morning everyone. Today topic is animal kingdom. From the animal kingdom we can expect 3 to 4 questions. Let us discuss in detail. Kingdom Animalia is also called metazoan. Metazoa is also called Kingdom Animalia. This metazoa consists of parazoa and eumetazoa. What is the meaning exactly of metazoa? I'll tell you. Metazoa means cellular organization. Animals, though have cellular, nothing but more than one cell in their organization, they are called metazoans. But if you see these two parazoans, here many cells are there. In eumetazoans also, many cells will be there. Then why they are two differentiated? In parazoans, just group of cells were there. Group of cells. But in eumetazoans, they are also group of cells, but they are structurally, originally, and functionally similar. That is why this is called tissue. Clear? Eumetazoans are the animals though have tissue level organization, whereas parazoans do not have a tissue level, but they have a cellular. Example for the parazoans is Porifera. Nothing but sponges were included in this phylum. Whereas in the eumetazoa, from Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, also called Nematoda, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, and Chordata. These all are come under eumetazoa because all they have minimum tissue level of organization. Even though parazoans are included in the metazoa, but they are not eumetazoans. This is an introductory part. How does the animal kingdom further classified? If you have a doubt, then what is protozoa? Protozoans are just prior to the parazoans. They consist of single cell organisms. So they are called unicellular animalcules. Animalcules. They never exist in the animal kingdom. They are separate. They are called protozoans. In Protista, we had discussed it. Understand? Now, the next concept, let us see. First one is Porifera. Some basic concepts of all living organisms also will be discussed inside the concept. What is Porifera? Porifera means what? Unicellular organisms? No, they are cellular organisms. Means organization is cellular. They do not have a germinal layers. Germinal layers are absent. So first point, this second point. Third one, coelom is acoelom. Fourth one, symmetry. Symmetry is asymmetry. Means body is not equally divided by any plane through central axis. Body form is sessile. Sessile means what? For the base, they will be attached. They never move. Locomotion is absent. Locomotion is nil. As they are sessile organisms, they cannot move from one place to another place. The place where they are attached to that is called substratum. Substratum is the place where sponges are sitting. Sponge's body wall Sponge's body wall is called pinacoderm. Pinacoderm, because they consist of pinacocytes. Okay, if you see the body wall, this is so important, and they have a pores like this. They have a pores in the body wall. The pores are called ostia or dermal ostia. Entire the body wall consists of pores like this. Pores are absent at the base, and water will enter through these pores into a cavity is called spongocoel, and these pores are anteriorly end with osculum. Osculum. Water ends with osculum, means water comes out in different directions. So the traveling or path of the water in sponge body wall, if you want, then that is called water canal system. Water canal system path is ostia, also called dermal ostia, to spongocoel, through osculum, goes out. So this is how water travels inside the sponge body. During water passing, sponges utilize that water transport in several ways. Let us see what are the ways. I can write the short form here. Water canal system helps in nutrition, yes, digestion, yes, respiration, exchange of gases through diffusion, circulation, elimination, nothing but excretion, and also reproduction. Gametes are transferred. Digestion, respiration, circulation, excretion can be done by diffusion. There are no special structures for this. For digestion, without enzymes. Enzymes are absent, so that phagocytosis will be done. Phagocytosis can be done through inside the cell. So digestion can be exhibited as intercellular. Digestion is as enzymes are absent, digestion is inside the cell. Inside the cell means what? Intracellular. Digestion happens inside the cell, not outside the cell, inside the cell, right? Then excretion is also diffusion, respiration is also diffusion, circulation also diffusion. Then reproduction, if you talk about that sponges reproduction, they are hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite means in the same body, male and female reproductive structures are present. Means sperms and ovums can be produced in the same body. That's why they are also called bisexual. Okay. Reproduction can be done in asexual as well as sexual. Asexual reproduction, internal budding, nothing but gemmules. In the unfavorable conditions, mainly in freshwater sponges, they undergo the scarcity of water. That time, gemmules, internal buds will be formed, and they dispersed into different places. When again water regain, then each and every gem will become new sponges. So that is internal budding. This is the one method. Another method of asexual reproduction is fragmentation. Pieces, fragmentation. So budding is present in the sponges, that is only internal budding. If you see sexual reproduction, by gamete formation. Gamete formation. Both male and female gametes are produced. Females produce ovum, male produce sperms. In the same body, fertilization takes place through water. So the fertilization is internal fertilization. Okay, then development is indirect. That means larva is present. Larva are two types, amphiblastula and parenchyma. Parenchyma is a solid larva, whereas amphiblastula is hollow larva. Amphiblastula is hollow larva, parenchyma is solid larva. So for the sponges example, if you require, porifera, that includes only sponges. Some examples of sponges I'll tell you now. Sponges example, Cycon, economical sponge, Euspongia, bath spongia, it is called, Hyalonema, glass rope sponge, Euplectella, Demospongia. Okay, these all are different sponges. Now, second phylum, that is phylum 2 is Coelenterata. Coelenterata, also called Cnidaria. Coelenterates are living in both marine and freshwater, whereas sponges also live in both marine and freshwater. If you talk about the habitat, lives in freshwater as well as marine water. Freshwater example, Hydra. Marine water example, Aurelia, jellyfish, and Adamsia, sea anemone, and some corals. Level of organization is, this is tissue level, first tissue level. Tissue level organization. Another point, radial symmetry. Radial symmetry. And also biradial symmetry is possible. Biradial symmetry. If an animal is like this, they have a tentacles, and body can be cut into two planes. This is the one plane, this is the another plane. Body can cut into two planes. That's why it is biradial symmetry. Sometimes many planes, radial symmetry. Then tentacles are present. Tentacles helps in capturing of food and also defense. They consist of cnidoblasts. Cnidoblasts are present in body wall. Body wall. Let us see the cnidoblast structure. So this is a cnidoblast structure. They have a thread-like, rope-like structure. When an enemy or prey touches the body wall of the coelenterate, the rope will come from directly inside to outside with toxic, and it will be pinned the surface of prey or any other animal, enemy. Then enemy will be easily go away from this because it is toxic. This structure is called nematoblast. nematocyst. Nematocysts are present in the coelenterites. That's why they're called cnidarians. They are toxic. More about cnidarians. Let us see. Body form is two types: polyp and medusa. Body form will be in two shapes: polyp and medusa. Differences, let us see. Polyp is cylindrical. Medusa is umbrella shape. Polyp is sessile. Polyp is sessile, means it is always attached. Whereas medusa is not sessile, free living. They have a tentacles like this. They have a tentacles. So free living. Tentacles are present in the polyp anteriorly. For here, posteriorly. Okay. Then polyp is asexual form. Medusa is sexual form. For the polyp, example, hydra. For the medusa, example, jellyfish. Jellyfish example, Aurelia, Rhizostoma. These two are in the group of jellyfishes. Clear? Now, any cnidarian body form is present in either polyp or medusa, but polyp plus medusa both can be seen in one organism life cycle. Then that is called metagenesis. Metagenesis. Metagenesis is simply just like alternation of generation. Alternation of generation. Generally, alternation of generation can be seen in only plants. But here, alternation of generation between sexual form to asexual, asexual to sexual. Let us see. A diploid form of polyp changes into diploid form of medusa. Okay. Whereas medusa is diploid. Clear. Then this diploid form again changes into diploid. But here this is by asexual, this is by sexual. So medusa shows sexual reproduction, polyp shows asexual reproduction. This is called metagenesis. This is so important in all cnidarians. No, some cnidarians. Example of coelenterate, though shows metagenesis, is Obelia. Obelia common name is Cephar. Phycelia, Portuguese man of war. Velella. These are three examples for metagenesis. Clear? Now, let us see the reproduction here. Reproduction in cnidarians, both asexual and sexual. Asexual reproduction in cnidarian is external budding, whereas in the sponges you have seen internal budding, but here external budding. Example, hydra. Also fragmentation can be seen in hydra. Here also hydra. Asexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction means gamete formation. Gamete formation. Both male and female gametes fuse together and form zygote, diploid zygote. Okay, metagenesis can be seen in only few cnidarians. So sexual reproduction method is gamete formation. Fertilization is fertilization is internal. Development is indirect. Indirect means larva is present. Larva, two types of larva is there. Planula and Ephyra. Planula is common larva and Ephyra is jellyfish larva. Jellyfish larva, Aurelian. So this is what? Coelenterata. Nothing but Cnidaria. Next one is third phylum is Ctenophora. Ctenophora. This Ctenophora is the smallest phylum. Actually, once upon a time, it was there in the Cnidaria. Due to some exceptions, it was placed out. Means 75% of characters of Ctenophorans are belongs to Cnidarians. Only 25% of characters are different than Cnidarians. Then what should we do is, what are the characters that Ctenophora can differ with Cnidaria or Coelenterata? Only you observe. Character number 1, absence of cnidoblasts. Cnidoblasts are absent. That's why it was placed out of the Cnidarian. Instead of that, presence of ctenoblasts. Ctenoblasts are present. They are both are stinging in nature. Stinging cells. Stinging cells in Cnidaria is cnidoblast. Stinging cells in Ctenophora or presence of Ctenophora is a ctenoblast. Both are helping in, stinging cells are helping in adhesion, nothing but attachment, offense, and also for protection, defense. For these three, stinging cells are helping. Third one, all ctenophores are exclusively marine. If you see, Coelenterata lives in freshwater as well as marine water. But ctenophores, all ctenophores are marine. Next, they have comb blasts or comb plates. Generally, tentacles are absent in the Ctenophora. If present, 2 are there. Comb plates are arranged in 8 rows. If you see the animal, it will be look like a volleyball-like structure. They are also called gooseberries, sea walnuts. So they are called sea walnuts, gooseberries, and all. In 8 rows, they have a comb plates. The comb plates are many in number. They are arranged in 8 rows. Comb plates' main function is locomotion. Very important. Number of comb plates means not 8 pairs, many, but arranged in 8 rows. This is first row, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row, sixth, seventh, eighth. Like around the body, 8 rows are present. Generally, tentacles are absent. If you present, the number is 2 tentacles are present. Okay. Let us move to the many features. The next, what are the different features of the Ctenophora compared to the Coelenterata? Here, reproduction. Reproduction is only sexual. I'm talking about Ctenophores. But Cnidarians, both sexual and asexual. Clear? So reproduction is only sexual, and fertilization is external. This is different. External fertilization. You cannot see the external fertilization till in the animal kingdom with the poriferans and coelenterates. First time external fertilization was done in Ctenophores, right? Then development is indirect. Development is indirect. Means larva, cedipede larva. Cedipede larva. This is a different larva. Okay. Examples for the organisms: Pleurobrachia, which shows bioluminescence. Bioluminescence. Bioluminescence means what? Emitting light. Emitting light. This point I can say all Ctenophores shows emitting light, but only few Cnidarians like jellyfishes shows bioluminescence. Another example, Beroi. These are examples of Ctenophora. Let me move to the next topic, that is platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes. They are first triploblastic animals. Triploblastic animals. Important point. They are first triploblastic animals, but they are acoelones. Acoelones. See, poriferans, coelentrates, ctenophores, platyhelminthes. All the four are acoelones, but platyhelminthes are triploblastic acoelones. Poriferans, coelentrates, ctenophores are diploblastic acoelones. Is a very important point. Now, platyhelminthes mostly parasites. Few freshwater living organisms are there. If you ask me freshwater living organism example, planaria, where high regeneration power is there, the sexual reproduction by fragmentation. Okay, mostly parasites. If you ask me parasites from platyhelminthes, they're actually flatworms. Flatworms. That's why they call platyhelminth. Helminth means worms. Example, Taenia solium, liver fluke, Fasciola hepatica is a scientific name. Fasciola hepatica, blood fluke, Cystosoma are the examples. Next, another point. They have hooks, suckers, and rostellum, means group of hooks. As they are parasites, they have to show so many adaptations in a host against to host actions. That's why hooks and suckers and rostellum helps in the holding of host body. Now, let us see other things. Digestion here, both extra and intracellular. Here I can tell you a common point. Except poriferans, nothing but except sponges, all animals are extra and intracellular. Why? Because apart from sponges, every animal have enzyme secreting cells. That's why. Next, respiration, diffusion, circulation, diffusion, excretion, diffusion by flame cells. By flame cells. Flame cells are generally belongs to protonephridia. Protonephridia type. Next, nervous system. Nervous system is ladder type. Ladder type. Sponges, poriferans do not have nervous system. Coelentrates and ctenophores have a diffusible nerve net. Here, nervous system become developed into ladder type. Then, reproduction, sexual and asexual. Sexual means what? Gametogenesis. Asexual means what? Fragmentation. I just discussed, that is planaria. Planaria is a flatworm. When the body into pieces, each piece gives rise to new body. That is a fragmentation, high regeneration power. High regeneration power. Gametogenesis, sexual reproduction. Fertilization is internal. Internal fertilization. Development is indirect. Larvas are many are there. Many stages in larva. After this session, in groups, I will post some columns regarding the data of invertebrata. You just follow that. Next. Nematihelminthes, also called nematoda. Nematoda. First, Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes. 4 phylums had done. This is 5th phylum. Nematoda, also called Aschelminthes. Aschelminthes, which means roundworms. Roundworms. There are also pathogens, so many in human. Level of organization here, same. Organ system, first time, organ system level of organization. Whereas in Poriferas, cellular. Coelenterata, Ctenophora, tissue level. Platyhelminthes, organ level, which is so important. Platyhelminthes, organization is organ level. Clear? First organ system level of organization was seen in nematoda or Aschelminthes. Symmetry is bilateral symmetry in Platyhelminthes, in Aschelminthes. First bilateral symmetry was seen in Platyhelminthes. Symmetry is bilateral. First bilateral. So this is very important. That will be continued. Bilateral symmetry. Next, third point. Coelom. Coelom is pseudocoelom. Pseudocoelom. Pseudocoelom means this is outer ectoderm. This is inner endoderm. Middle, this is mesoglia. Here, mesoderm was arranged in pouches in between the ectoderm and endoderm. This is 50% developed body cavity. That's why it is not 100% pseudocoelom. Pseudocoelom means what? False coelom. But it is look like a coelom, but it's not coelom. The pseudocoelom is a character of only Aschelminthes. None other than. Understand? Next. Third one. Body is round, cylindrical. Longitudinal muscles are first time formed. Longitudinal muscles were first seen. Clear? Next. Ascaris is the most common here. If you see some features of Ascaris, muscular pharynx. Pharynx was found with muscles that are longitudinal muscles. Lips at mouth. Lip number is 3. There were 3 lips are present. So they are fusiform in shape like this. If this is the mouth, if I elaborate the mouth have lip number 1, lip number 2, and lip number 3 with suckers. Understand? Now, another point of Ascaris, thick body wall or thick cuticle. As their body wall is very thick, host digestive enzymes cannot act. Next, they lay 2 lakh eggs by 1 fertilization. This is important character of Ascaris. Ascaris is simply called roundworm, which lives in our small intestine, mostly in the children. Next, another point in the need area. Digestion. Digestive system is absent as they are parasites, directly absorb food from body wall. Respiration, as they are parasites, they do anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration in host. In the absence of oxygen, they do respiration. Circulation, diffusion. Excretion, rennet glands. Rennet glands are present. They are also protonephidia. nervous system, ladder type nervous system is there. Ladder type nervous system is there. Reproduction, only sexual reproduction. No asexual reproduction, only sexual reproduction. And sexual dimorphism. Sexual dimorphism means male and female can be easily distinguishable because male is short and curved like this, whereas female is long and straight like this. This is male, this is female. By seeing, we can say this is male and female organism. That is called sexual dimorphism. Fertilization is internal. Development is direct. They lay eggs, right? Ascaris lumbricoides. Examples in this phylum are already Ascaris we discussed. Apart from that, Wuchereria malai, Wuchereria branchofti, both are different species. Wuchereria is the genus. Wuchereria malai, Wuchereria branchofti. These two are species commonly. Then also hookworm, Enterobius. Enterobius. Here important thing will be there. That is, if you see Ascaris, this is called roundworm. Ascaris is roundworm. Enterobius, Ankylostoma. If you see Ankylostoma, which is hookworm. Hookworm. Enterobius, pinworm. Pinworm. Trichiuris, whipworm. Whipworm. Trichiuria, Trichina worm. Trichina worm. Match the following. These all are important. Wuchereria, filarial worm. So these all are harmful for human. Now next phylum, that is Annelida. 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 Mainly Annelida means what comes? Earthworm, leech, and Nereis. These three comes under. In earthworm, seater or locomotory structures. If you see some differences about locomotion, seater, they are also called keter. Whereas in the leech, locomotor organelles are absent. Whereas in the Nereis, parapodia. Parapodia have two functions. One is respiration. One is locomotion. Good. Next, respiratory structures. If you see earthworm, skin, leech, skin.
It's 20 hours.
Nereis, parapodia. So respiration through skin is called cutaneous respiration. Cutaneous respiration can be seen in both leeches and earthworm. And in Nereis, this is by parapodia. Same thing. Okay. Now, digestion is both extracellular and intracellular. That is a common point, so that I am not writing. Different and important points I am explaining. Go through the textbook lines. If you have any doubts, ask me personally. Now, circulation, let us see. Circulation. See, very important thing here. In till Poriferous, Elidata, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, circulation is diffusion. But here circulation is in earthworm closed type. Means blood vessels are present. Whereas in the leech, open type, blood vessels are absent. Okay. And the Nereis, closed type. Clear? So in one phylum, two different types of circulatory systems, open and closed, both. Next, excretion. Excretion in the earthworm, by nephridia, which excretes urea. Excretion in the leech by nephridia is common. Nephridia is common plus botryoidal tissue. Botryoidal tissue is extra excretory structures. Now, Nereis have nephridia only. Now, these are the excretory structures. Next, locomotory structures already seen. Then circular system. Reproduction. Reproduction, if you see, earthworm reproduction is, earthworm is a bisexual organism. Okay, both male and female present in the same body, and internal fertilization and direct development. Okay, whereas in the leech is also bisexual organism, internal fertilization and direct development. Okay, then in earthworm, indirect development, larva name is cocoon. Okay, and Nereis is unisexual organism. Fertilization is internal, development is direct. This is what the difference. Nereis is the animal in the Annelida which shows sexual reproduction. These are very important things. Go through this session again. Next. How many phylums we can cover? 6 phylums. Now 7th one is Arthropoda. Arthropoda. Arthropoda, which is largest animal phylum. Largest animal phylum. Understand? Then they have a 60,000 of species. 60,000 of species in the animal world. Now, arthropodans, what actually comes here by crustaceans. Crustaceans will come. And insects will come, major ones. Arachnids will come. Apart from that, diplopods and centipedes. Let us see, all these are in comparison. First one, what type of animals are included here? Crustaceans means crabs and prawns. Insects means all are hexapods. Hexapods means body have a head, thorax and abdomen with a 3 pair of legs. As they have a 3 pair of legs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 means hexa. Poda means foot. Arachnids means scorpion and spider comes under this. Diplopoda. Diplopoda means Julius. Julius will come. Centipeda means Scolopendra. Scolopendra comes. These are the animals generally included in the kingdom, phylum Arthropoda. Among these classes, these all are classes. Class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, class 5. Number may be various. For the easy manner, I am taking this. Insecta is the largest class. Arthropoda is the largest phylum. Now let us discuss other characters. Here, second thing is respiration. Very important. In crustaceans, respiration is through book gills. Book gills are present in crustaceans. In insects, respiration is by tracheal. Tracheal respiration. In arachnids, book lungs. In diplopodans, tracheal. and centipedes tracheal. Overall, tracheal respiration is very common respiratory methods in the arthropoda kingdom. Yes, particularly class-wise they ask, they will be the answers. Now, after respiration, circulation. No need to write about the circulation because circulation means complete open. Circulation means completely open. All animals in the arthropoda are open. Now, excretion, let us see. Excretion. In crustaceans, excretion is by green glands. Green glands. They are also called antennary glands. Antennary glands. In insects, excretion is by Malphizian tubules. Malphizian tubules. Arachnids, coxal glands. Coxal glands in spider and scorpion. In Diplopoda, Malphizian tubules. In Centipeda, Malphizian tubules. Just like a tracheal system, the same three classes are sharing similar structures for excretion. They are Malphizian tubules. Common excretory structures in arthropoda is Malphizian tubules. Now, other characters like habitat, they lives in water as well as land. What's called organization is organ system level, which started already in Aschelminthes, which is continued. Once highest level of organization started, it will be continued. Okay, just like symmetry is also by bilateral symmetry. Okay, now reproduction. Reproduction is only sexual reproduction. All animals are monosexual organisms. So all are, it's a common point I'm writing, sexual reproduction plus internal fertilization plus indirect development. Then larvae will be different. Larvas are maybe maggot larva for housefly, pupa larva is for butterfly. Okay, and also caterpillar. Sorry, pupa larva is for mosquito. Caterpillar, that is nothing but butterfly. Okay, so these are different characters of the arthropoda. Next one is mollusca, which will be 8th phylum. Mollusca. Mollusca is second largest animal phylum. Okay, and mollusca means soft bodied animals. Soft bodied animals. Molluscan body is made up of muscular foot plus visceral hump plus shell, maybe inside or outside, plus tentacles. Also plus compound eyes will be present. A typical structure of molluscans, if you see, this is the muscular foot, and this is the animal head, and this is the visceral hump, and this is area where food can be captured. By this, a tongue-like structure comes out. This is called osporidium. I'm sorry, this is called radula. This is radula. Radula means rasping organ. Rasping means what? Rasping means which helps in the food collection. On the radula, some teeth-like structures are present. They are called osporidium. Osporidium helps in tasting of salinity. Tasting of salinity means salt. This is shell. Inside that, visceral hump is present. This is visceral hump. Between this, a cavity is called mantle cavity. Mantle cavity. Inside the mantle cavity, from some molluscans, pearls can be produced by secreting of nacre. And this can be continued as digestive gut and intestine. Here it will be terminated. It's the anus. And in the mantle cavity, some special structures are present. They are just like a feathers. This is called ctenidia. Ctenidia. Ctenidia helps in two functions. One is respiration. Another one is excretion. Dual function. Okay. And this is muscular foot. This is a common structure, and compound eyes are present here. This is compound eyes, photoreceptors, right? We have seen the body structure of mollusca. Let us see some other characters of the mollusca. In mollusca, respiration. In mollusca, respiration is by body wall, also by ctenidia, gill-like structures. Circulation. Circulation in the mollusca may be open or closed. Open type means example for the open type, all except octopus group. Octopus group means octopus group. In the octopus group, what will be there? Closed type circulatory system is there. That group is called cephalopoda. Cephalopoda means cephalopoda molluscans are closed type circulatory system. Non-cephalopoda molluscans are open type circulatory system. Next, excretion. Excretion, major excretory structures are ctenidia, just I mentioned in the picture, plus some extra excretory structures are there. They are nothing but Kieber's organs, plus organs of Bosonus. Organs of Bosonus. These all are excretory structures. Next, nervous system is well developed. Reproduction. Reproduction in sexual, only sexual reproduction. Monosexual organisms are there. Monosexual organisms means male and female are separate, and also some group of bisexual organisms also there. Bisexual organisms mean one body have both. Example, Unio, bivalvia, oysters. Indian pearl oyster is pinctada. Pinctada. And monosexual organisms, example, cephalopodans. Cephalopodans. Cephalopodans means octopus. Particularly, octopus have siphons, ink glands. They helps to release the ink to escape from the enemy. Okay, during some safety conditions. This is what about the molluscans. Now, Echinodermata, the last one. In invertebrata, phylum number 9. Last invertebrata phylum, that is Echinodermata. 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 Derma means skin. Eta means having. Echino means spine. Okay, skin is spined plus calcium carbonate. Spines are present, not spicules. Calcium carbonate spicules are present in poriferans. In Echinodermata, most important system is there, that is water vascular system. Water vascular system helps in nutrition, digestion, respiration, circulation, excretion, reproduction, plus locomotion. One thing here very important in poriferans, nothing but sponges, that is water canal system. In echinoderms, this is water vascular system. Difference is water entry and exit is also different. Water canal system in the sponges never help in the locomotion, but water vascular system helps in the locomotion. This is a very, very important thing. Now, other important points are symmetry. In case of larva stage, bilateral. In case of adult stage, adult echinoderm shows radial, nothing but pentaradial. Pentaradial, this is important. Some molluscans shows asymmetry, gastropodons they are, phyla, snails and all. Okay, that is important point. I'll write here. Mollusca, as their body is twisted, symmetry is asymmetry. Example, snail, phyla. Not in all molluscans. All molluscans except phyla are bilateral symmetry. Now let us see, after symmetry, reproduction. Reproduction in molluscans is only sexual. Sorry, in echinoderms is only sexual. Another important is all echinoderms are marine only. Means you cannot find any echinoderm in freshwater like ponds, rivers and lakes. And fertilization is only external. Till external fertilization, only exclusive external fertilization, you have seen only two phylums. One is Ctenophora, another one is Echinodermate. Now, development is indirect. Larvas are auricularia, doliolaria, echinofluteus, ophiofluteus are example. Animals, example for that, Echinodermata, example animals, starfish, Astridia, astrus. Okay, feather stars, sea cucumbers, sea urchins, all are examples for the echinoderms. Guys, hope you understand. And invertebrata phyla is the first half of the animal kingdom. So part 2 of animal kingdom I will discuss in the next class, that is chordates. Hemichordate also can be included there. Okay, thank you. I hope you understand. Bye.